Welcome to The Hypnotist, the show that gives you inside access to cutting-edge hypnosis with real clients facing genuine issues. Brought to you by the hypnotherapist demanded by celebrities, CEOs, and even royalty, Adam Cox. These recordings took place live from Adam's clinic in London's world-famous Harley Street. This podcast features powerful hypnosis, so do not listen while driving or operating machinery. This recording is not suitable for those with epilepsy or severe mental health issues. So, get yourself comfortable and enjoy today's episode of The Hypnotist.
Hi, it's Adam here, and in this hypnosis session, you're going to be listening to an abundance-themed hypnosis session that takes the principles of manifestation and the law of attraction, but also psychological principles about cause and effect, that when you set an intention, when you have clarity as to what you want a future to be like, quite often you activate the very resources required for that thing to happen. Some people would call that a self-fulfilling prophecy. Other people would call it the power of the reticular activating system. Some people would call it serendipity or manifestation. It doesn't really matter what you call it, but there is power in setting goals, setting intentions, making wishes. I did a session a while ago on a wishing well, and I'm one of these people that is very cynical, very skeptical, but at the same time, I'll never pass a wishing well or a fountain without throwing a coin in, because I know the power of belief systems. And when I set an intention, even if I know it's just the power of the placebo effect or the law of a self-fulfilling prophecy, I don't care. For the sake of a coin in my pocket, even if it increases the probability of something I really want happening by just a few percentage points, that's a great investment as far as I'm concerned. And what is wonderful is that you don't have to know about how this stuff works for it to work. In the same way that I don't really understand how electricity works, and yet I use it all the time. I understand a lot more about how change works and how resources work. But even if I didn't, the principle of setting an intention of exactly what you do want is a powerful, profound, natural thing that we do anyway. You know, think of New Year's resolutions, think of when people blow out candles and a birthday cake. Wishes are part of every culture because at some level they have a role to play. This is also in some way related to some of the principles in my online course, Hypnotic Wealth, which, although most of the course is based on belief systems about fear of losing money and risk, it also has certain empowering belief systems about manifestation and attracting all those things that you do want. One of the key things that prevents people from having a wealthy future is the belief system that they don't deserve it or that it's unlikely to happen for them. So to some extent, it links into that. If you're curious about the Hypnotic Wealth course, you can click the link in the show notes to get the first 2 modules of that course completely free. And then you can just see if you like the concept. If you do, then feel free to buy the concept and the course. If not, don't worry. But at least you can get a sense of what it's all about. For now, though, this is a hypnosis session that uses a fountain and coins as a metaphor for manifestation. So find a quiet, comfortable place where you won't be disturbed, relax, and enjoy the session. Take a deep breath in And as you breathe in a wonderful feeling of calm relaxation. And as you exhale, allow feelings of stress and worries to feel like they're effortlessly and naturally leaving your body in your outward breath, enabling you to breathe in and breathe out, enabling you to feel deeper and deeper relaxed simply by doing what's natural, breathing in and breathing out. If it's safe to do so and you haven't done so already, on the next outward breath, allow your eyelids to close, and as they close, notice a wave of relaxation starting perhaps at the top of your head and like a ripple through water going down your entire body all the way to the very tips of your fingers. Then feel the ripple come back and then continue down your body all the way to the very tips of your toes. Enjoy that feeling of relaxation. And perhaps, if you can still feel some tension, instead of relaxing, increase the tension in that location. Maybe by tensing muscles, clenching your jaw, perhaps squeezing your fists together. And as you increase the tension, take a deep breath in, and as you exhale, release that tension. And in doing so, notice that you're even more relaxed than you were before. I want you to get a sense that stress and tension are just reflections of reality. But here in this moment, your reality is quiet, calmness, and relaxation. And therefore, any feelings of tension and stress are not needed here, so you can let them go. And instead, reflect serenity and tranquility. And it feels good to access a state of deep inner peace. I want you to use the power of your imagination to imagine a different world. A world where wishes are as common as decisions. Here, in our reality, we can make a decision, and that changes the future. But I want you to imagine a world in which wishes were just as natural, and just as a decision creates a cause and effect relationship. Imagine in that world, wishes do the same thing. And I want you to imagine somewhere on that world where wishes take place is the most incredible fountain. The water is colored in whichever color your imagination creates. And maybe you can think of a fountain with many different layers, cascading from one to the other, all the way down before the water starts at the top and trickles down. Or maybe the fountain is a giant pond with a jet of water spraying from the center to all different locations in the pond, creating ripples across the surface. Or maybe you can imagine giant fountain, perhaps surrounded by marble statues, perhaps in front of a historic building. However your mind thinks of this fountain is exactly as the fountain should be. But I want you to get a sense that this fountain, in this world where wishes become true, is even more powerful than the rules of this world. I want you to imagine each person that lives in this world is given 3 coins. Each coin represents a different type of wish. One for health, one for wealth, and one for happiness. And every now and then, they're given 3 new wishes, 3 new coins. And as they throw them into the fountain, they can think of a very specific wish that relates to either their health, their wealth, or the joy they experience. The more specific they are, the more likely the wish will turn into reality. Just as in our reality, not every decision leads to implementation, but many do. I want you to imagine you're standing in front of this magical fountain in this magical world, holding 3 shiny coins. Stare into the fountain. Look at the water with that particular shade of color you imagined. And start to think of what your wishes could be as you stare into the fountain. In the embrace of tranquil waters, where wishes find their silent keepers, lies a canvas for the heart's desires, as deep as dreamers are sleepers. A coin is held, not merely metal, but a vessel for a soul's plea. A gentle toss, a hope for health, the first of wishes to be free. For health is wealth in its own right, the whispers of the water say. Toss a coin for strength and vigor, for nights of rest and bright lit days. Imagine vitality flowing like these waters, pure and endlessly profound, with each ripple expanding, carrying wishes without a bound. Now breathe and cast your silver wish for wealth to come and stay, not just in coins, but in richness of life, in every meaningful way. May abundance flow as the fountain does, with grace and endless charm, bringing prosperity that fills your cup and holds no cause for alarm. Behold the coin's journey downward. A glinting promise sinks below. For happiness, the purest treasure, a wish to let your spirit glow. Like laughter that dances on the surface, may joy bubble up from life's deep fountain. In moments cherished, love embraced, happiness as vast as a mountain. And as each coin settles softly on the bed of dreams woven tight, the fountain, a silent guardian, holds your wishes in the light. In the dance of water and whispers, may health, wealth, and happiness be found. For where intentions are set afloat, life's blessings surely abound. As you imagine yourself standing in front of that fountain, perhaps you've already imagined throwing the coins and making your wishes. And if you haven't yet, then start to think of a specific wish that relates to your health. Maybe, if there is pain, sickness, or tiredness or fatigue, you can wish for more vitality, strength, a pain-free future. But be specific and think of that future version of you without the pain or with more vitality and energy. Then throw the coin into the fountain. And then think of what relates to wealth for you. For some, it's money, income, perhaps those material possessions. But wealth can also include the richness of life. Be specific. Imagine that future, abundant version of you, and then feel the weight of the coin leaving your hands and hearing the splash as it hits the surface of the water in the fountain. And then finally, think about what would create happiness for you. What would give you a feeling of ecstasy, joy, gratitude, appreciation at the highest level. Think of one thing that would make your life immeasurably better. Hold on to that thought and throw the coin in the fountain without any expectation that it will happen. Just a deep appreciation if it does. And perhaps wishes, like decisions, work better when you support them, nurture them, help them along on their journey. As you walk away from the fountain, get a sense that the wishes are already doing their work. And then feel like it's time to return to the present, acknowledging that all of this is just thoughts within thoughts, ideas within ideas, dreams within dreams, but perhaps with the ability to ripple into your reality. As you return to the present, take a deep breath in through your nose and out through your nose. Wiggle your fingers, wiggle your toes, connect fully with the present. As very soon I count from 1 to 10 to awaken you, you will awaken feeling resourceful, optimistic, with a sneaking suspicion that wishes, like decisions, can turn into reality for you. Starting to count. 1, 2, 3, waking up. 4, 5, 6, more alert. 7, 8, open your eyes, open your eyes. 9, 10, wide awake, wide awake, wide awake.
Thank you for listening to The Hypnotist with Adam Cox, the show that gives you inside access to cutting-edge hypnosis with real clients facing genuine issues. To automatically receive the latest episodes, please subscribe. If you'd like to support the show, please share this episode with just one friend you think it could help. And if this episode helped you, please leave us a 5-star review.